So we've already went through the master production schedule where we're scheduling how many we're going to make, try to figure out our available to promise, and all the other things like that. But what about all the parts? We have to schedule the parts to go into that production. Well, this is how we're going to do it. So let's take a look. So we need to know our gross requirements. We need to know how much we need to purchase. Are we going to purchase one, or are we producing 500? So this whole process, the schedule, is going to help us figure this out. Our scheduled receipts. Now, we might have already done this once and already have some on order that are being delivered. So we need to factor that in to our MRP here. And then we have our available inventory. Even though we have these receipts coming in, that inventory might already be for another project. So we need to know what inventory is available that doesn't have a home to go to yet. Because if there's no home for it, that means we can grab it. We need to know the net requirements. So this is the minimum number that we need to have on hand for a certain time period. It might be a month's worth, it might be a year's worth, it might be a week's worth, depending on how we order the items. Then we need to plan our order receipts. So these are what we expect to arrive during this time period, at the beginning at least. That way we can figure out what we have. And then our order receipts. So these are what we plan to order. Because if we know we need 5,000 and we know we need to order 2,000, when do we order those 2,000? That'd be very helpful, because if we order them today, we might not have enough warehouse room for them. But if we order them in 2 weeks, that might be too late. They might be a week late. So we need to know when we want these on hand. So let's go ahead and take a look at our MRP mechanics by actually doing the example that we had from the last slide. So we have our office chair. So we need to figure out, see where it says that MPS starts on the top chart. That's our level 1 item, basically. So we need to figure that out. But what are all the parts that go into that level 1? Or I should say level 0. So we're actually looking at level 1 on this one. Well, every chair needs a seat. So it says here, our order quantity is 75. It takes a week to get in. We have 0 as a safety stock, and we have 90 on hand currently. So our gross requirements are our production here. So on weeks 1, 3, and 5, we need at least 100. So that just is a straight down line. Now, if you need multiples of that, then you would multiply it. It might be by 2 to 4, 10, whatever you need. But then when we do it, we need to look at our order receipts and our order releases. Because if we know it's going to take a week to come in, we need to be able to place that order and have it show up on the right time. So we're also doing the available inventory here. So we start off with an on-hand of 90 in this example here. So our gross requirements is 100. We're scheduled to get 75 in, and we have 65 of that 75 that's available. So 90 plus the 65, and that's what we know we got. But our initial calculation for week 3, because we're adding inventory, is actually negative 35. But we ordered 75 to be added on week 2. So in week 2, we placed the order. Week 3, it's delivered. So now 75 got added in. So that negative 35 that was there before is now a 40. And you would do this for the whole thing, as you can see here. So on weeks 2 and 4, you need to place an order for 75. So that's what you need to do. For this is just the seat. This is just one part of the office chair. And then the seat needs parts too. As you can see here, we're continuing on. Only in this case, our order quantity is 100. We have a starting on hand of 60. So on week 2, we have a net requirement of 15. So you see how things are moving and where we have to place these orders. So here, we're going to order the seat cushions for the seat assembly. We're going to order them on week 1 and week 3 to meet our current production demand. Then our seat assembly, we need number 6 screws. It takes 8 screws for the 75 seat assemblies. So that would be a quantity of 600. We're starting off with 1,000 in stock. The on-hand inventory is 400, and we can only order 1,000 at a time. So when we do the numbers, well, we're going to look at arm assembly. I must have lost the slide. Anyway, so the arm assembly. Well, we need 2 arms for a chair. So we need 200 overall. So you can see here, we're going to place an order on week 1. However, the lead time is 2 weeks. So in week 3, they'll show up. And then we keep going. So we need to plan our releases for common parts. For example, the number 6 screw, I believe, showed up a couple times in our bill of materials. Well, we need to figure out how many number 6 screws we need overall. And we can put all those together, and an order quantity of 1,000 should be easy to reach. So you might place an order for 2,000, and so on and so forth. These are things that are more of a judgment call, but your numbers are going to support this. So let the numbers talk to you. Let it tell you what you need to do. And with MRP systems, they're going to give you all this information because you're going to enter it in. You're going to say the minimum order quantity is 250. It's going to take 2 weeks to get here, and we currently have 120 on hand for the arm assemblies. And then it can tell you, okay, well, based on the production schedule, you need to order more arm assemblies on week 1. That way you don't run out. So it's very helpful to have the MRP. So in the next video, we're going to talk about managing order quantities and uncertainty, because nothing is ever 100% certain except for death and taxes. But for everything else, we have a tool that we can help us figure that out. So let's go ahead and move on to the next video.